Hi, it's Brenda. I received a comment on one of my last videos about my bullet journal and how I track my health in it. So I thought I would kind of go over that with you.
Welcome to my channel, My New Me, where you get to watch as I try to make sense out of the chaos that has become my life and my home. How lucky are you?
And show you what seems to be working for me. If I can get this to line up. This is the bullet journal that was given to me by a very wonderful person. And it was plain black, which is fine, but I decided to bling it up myself. I showed this in the gift video, I think. These stickers were, butterfly stickers were sent to me from another wonderful viewer. And these little gems, along with Addie's hair, were sent to me. This is back the end of last year when I was doing the magnets. These came in the mail. No note, no, who they were from or anything. But they're pretty, and it kind of helped bling this up and make it mine a little bit. So, this is my bullet journal. And I don't do a lot with it. I left a bunch of the front pages blank because I didn't know what I was doing. I did try to do a house tracking, like cleaning the house. You can see how far I got on that. I did write myself a little bit of some inspirational things. I can try to do one thing on each line 5 days each week. 5 minutes is a lot. Just start, chip away at it. And the only failure is the failure to try, which that I believe wholeheartedly. And I gave myself a little super turtle reminder. And I marked 2 things on it. So I didn't do so hot at it. But I'm not giving up on it. I didn't, the only dating I did on it was put February, which I can cover and put another month. So I might try that later. And then I have blank page. And this is my health tracker. Now, I have a certain set of symptoms that every time I go to the doctor, they ask me about it, that are recurring or I won't have them for a long time, and then I will, or it's a different levels of intensity. And I can never remember. I go to the doctor, and it's like, well, how has this been? It's like, well, I guess sometimes it's this, and sometimes it's that, and, well, what makes it be that? And it's like, well, I don't know, maybe there was something, and, very specific, helpful information that I'm providing. So what I decided to do was track it. So this is the month of February, which is over and done with. I put the dates all along the top, and then I just have lines. And what I used was the same stuff that the health industry uses. 0 is nothing, and 10 is major. So that can be pain, that can be tired, that can be activity, that can be, if one of my symptoms, I have all my symptoms or concerns or health issues are listed here. So if one of these is feeling great, all right, if I was feeling awful, I would put 0 under the feeling great. If I was feeling fantastic, I would put 10 under the feeling great. On each line, I have listed the major health issues I have and causes. I also have listed, like over here, I use minutes and 15-minute increments or whatever for how long it took for it to go away, or if it took any amount of time. If it was just there and then gone instantly, then I just put the slash, because that happens a lot too. Kind of helps. I have, like down here, I have a bunch of activity level for 3 days or something. If my activity was nothing, then, that's good to know. If I was very active, like say right here, my activity level one day was a 7, so the next day was a 1, but this symptoms was a 9 on the day that it was a 1, which maybe, that doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have a 9 on this symptom if I did almost nothing on this day. However, the day before was a 7. I did quite a bit. Then we had a 2, and then we had 2 7s before that, and it kind of shows how it accumulates. So, and we have some that the random things that don't happen often. You can see that they're just zeros. And over here, I have notes where I write the date and if there was anything going on. You know, say it was very active, or, you know, like one day on here, one day kept flipping the brake. I had to keep going down cellar to flip the breakers because I kept blowing a fuse. And I don't do stairs. Well, I can do stairs, but it is bad. It bothers me. So having to go up and down the cellar stairs 3 times really increased all of my symptoms. Where on a normal day that probably wouldn't have happened. But just different situations going on. You know, when I had the flu, I wrote that down because that's going to change the way your body reacts to things. And then down here, I have concerns. Things that... See, my goal with this is when I go to the doctor, I can open this page and hand it to her and say, this is what's been happening. And she can look at these, she can see what level I'm at, what activity may have caused it, what was going on in my life that may have caused it. And these are concerns that I really want to stand out to her, or that I definitely don't want to forget. Either something new or something that was very minor before and is becoming more unminor, prominent, more. It's just being more. So, but it makes it easy because I can just look under the date. And I kind of skipped a few days here. That was an oops. But I can just, you know, go into the date 28th. This was a 4. These were non-issues. That was a 7, a 6. You know, at the end of the day, I just write down what it was. And then over here, if there was anything special happening that I want to write down, I can just write the date and then just jot a really quick note. It makes it really, really easy. But I think I did this for this in March, which I'm still in the middle of. I don't know if you can see the colors. Let me see if you can see the colors. I used a color pencil and I colored every other line to make it easier to follow. I think in the next one I'm going to do that up and down too because it was hard to follow. So that's how I've been tracking my health. Very quick, very simple. It takes a whole, 2 minutes at the end of the night, at the end of the day. Well, the day is still fresh in my mind. And then I have it to remember and to show the doctors. And that way I'm done doing the, oh, well, I had to think sometimes on these days when I think there was something going on and I think stuff happened and I think it did this, that really doesn't help anybody. So this, I can go into the doctor's office, open it, and say, maybe the first time explain the system to them a little bit, but it makes it very, very easy to do. So, and then the next page is nothing. So this was my screw up when I started trying to do the health tracker, and I completely messed it up. So I just taped 2 pages together and made a pocket out of it for the stickers that I use the most in here with purple sparkly duct tape. And this was another goof up, so I drew a picture over the goof up. And then I have butterfly stickers because we need butterflies. In this, I also have a calendar where I'm tracking the weather, temperatures, and whether it's raining, snowy, cloudy, sunny, whatever the weather was, because the weather plays a big part in my health. So, and then I have a little reminder, priorities, coffee and cupcakes, the biggest priorities in life. Okay, maybe not really, but when I've got a whole lot of something going on back here, I notice I've got a lot of 9s and 8s and 9s back here. I can go to the weather on that date, those dates, and, see, oh, we had a lot of rain, we had a lot of snow, we had, it was very windy, things like that. It has been helping me. It helps explain some things just to myself. And then I did a sleep tracker. And this one I played around with a lot to try to figure out the best way to do it. And I'm using these, like with the other one, using these to cover more specific health information. So this is the month, and there's the days of the month written down there. And then this is AM midnight to 11 in the morning. then PM, noon to 11 at night. And what I do is just, and these were mess-ups, so I just covered them with stickers. So when I sleep a whole hour, which I have the little key written down here, if I sleep the entire hour, I put it an X. If I sleep only half of that hour, I put the one line. So like here, I fell asleep about midnight. I slept from midnight to 1, from 1 to 2, and then woke up around 2:30-ish. And I guesstimate, because I don't do this the second I wake up. I have to have coffee first. But I do guesstimate at it. And then up here I have the most common reasons that I wake up. Whether it's stiff joints, I have, someone or something waking me up. Whether it's a symptom, whether I've got just cuz and gotta pee, because those are pretty important reasons for waking up. But it kind of shows why I wake up, because I don't sleep well. I sleep, 2 to 3 hours at a time. 3 to 4 hours is a very long time for me to sleep. And then after I wake up, I write the letter. So right here, I fell asleep about 4:30 and slept until about 6:30. And whatever reason C is, C woke me up. And then over here, I only slept an hour and a half, and G woke me up. Like down here, I slept 3.5 hours, and D, E, and C woke me up. And usually the strongest one I will list first. D was probably the worst, the first thing that I remember when I woke up, a reason. And then D, and then C is less. So I kind of can keep track that way. And again, this one I did the colored lines going down to separate the times. And I found myself getting off the lines over here for the dates. So I think I'm going to do both. Every other line for going across for the next one, make it easier. And then over here, I write down anything special that was going on. Like right here, it was very windy. On the 24th and 25th, it was very windy. It poured rain. It was snowing. It was sleeting. The house was shaking. So these days, I didn't sleep real good because it kept waking me up. I mean, when I slept good, but I slept very short periods of time. Weather kept waking me up, or Addie being afraid of the weather kept waking me up. So, but I kind of thought that might be the easiest way to do it. And then you see, there's a couple days here that I didn't mark it. I forgot to mark it. Or, if I wasn't feeling good at all, I just wouldn't even bother with it, which isn't good. I need to make myself do that more often. But it makes it easy. When I wake up and I'm having my coffee or having a snack or whatever, I'll pull this out and just mark, put some X's or put some slashes in the letter of what woke me up. It also gives me a really good overall view of the entire month that I can compare and see how it correlates to my health tracker and the weather. So I have found that to be actually very useful. Any other information that I think is relevant to my sleeping habits of that day will go down here. But this is also, it kind of gives me, I always felt like I was sleeping more than I actually was. But I look at this and there are days where I only slept 3 and 4 hours the entire day. And it kind of opened my eyes a little bit. Made me realize, okay, I'm not doing quite as much as I thought I was. That's my sleep tracker. And that kind of goes along with the health tracker and the weather. And that's kind of it. That's all I'm doing in my bullet journal. I started trying to do like some YouTube trackers, and I'm just kind of failing at that miserably. I've started many different things. You can see how well I did on that, but I'm really wanting to, I need to track it, and because I get halfway through a video, I start another, and then I forget about the video I was halfway through. Or I feel like I just uploaded a video beginning of the week, and actually, it was 3 weeks ago. So, but that's what I'm doing with my bullet journal so far. It came with one pen loop, and I'm using this. I love this pen. It's a fountain pen. I love fountain pens. It's very fine tip, so I can really write in these tiny spaces very easily. And because she has to be a part of every video. But you can see how fine it is. And it's purple ink. It always writes better with purple ink, right? So that's what I'm doing with that one. This book is what we used as a sign-in book for my mom's funeral. My sister bought a purple one because purple is my favorite color. We ended up only using 2 pages of it. She gave it to me and said, you know, she knew I liked to journal and I like purple, maybe I'd want it. So I decided to keep the sign part. Oh, I'm making, this is, I don't know, it doesn't really look like it. It's a really pretty rose gold cardboard. So I cut some butterflies out of it, and as soon as I can find my hot glue gun, I'm going to hot glue that to the cover, because the cover's kind of plain. I put the sticker on it. This card, it was a condolence card for my mom's funeral, and I thought that was really pretty. So I just put that on with some of that duct tape, purple sparkly duct tape, and I wrote, this came from one of my wonderful viewers. It was part of a card, so I cut that out. And very sloppily wrote memories up there. But then I wrote down, all memories carry weight, but not all weight holds us down. Some weight just grounds us to help us stand strong. Because it's something I tend to forget about. I have a memory and all I can think of is, alright, it's a bad memory, or it's, you know, I don't know. I need to remember the good memories and give the bad memories the proper place in my life and go from there. So these are the 2 pages that were used at Mom's funeral, and these were cards that were put on, that were, I'm just not showing you the signatures, cards that came with flowers, some of them, and I just taped them in there and wrote on the blank parts of the cards what I remembered Mom, something that Mom told me about, who sent the flowers, or a memory I had of Mom with the people that sent the flowers, turning it into something good. And then I'm just going to start writing down memories. This is one that Mom and I loved going to yard sales, garage sales. We called them rummage sales. I think it's, depending on where you are, what you call it. We loved going. And I would get done work. I worked nights. I would get done work at like 6:30 on a Friday morning, and that would be the end of my week. And as I worked an hour away from home, so I'd be driving home, and as I hit our town, I would see orange signs. Now, in our area, when you put a rummage sale in the newspaper, they gave you orange rummage sale signs. You know, if you paid for the ad to go in the paper, they would give you the orange rummage sale signs to put on the end of your streets, you know, to get people to come in. So that was kind of our code to each other, was I see orange signs. Or it'd be like, you know, there's orange signs as far as the eye can see. So it'd be like 7:30, and I'd be pulling into town, and I would see orange signs on a Friday morning. And I would call Mom, and her voice would be all groggy. Yeah, I'd have my cell phone. I'd call Mom. Her voice would be all groggy. She had been sleeping. And all I had to say was, I see orange signs. Or there are orange signs on every street corner. Or orange signs as far as I can see. And she would say, okay, get coffee. I'll be ready. And hang up. That would be it. And so I'd stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee for each of us, and usually a couple donuts. Go to her house. And Dad, of course, would still be in bed. By the time I would go in, and usually by the time I used the bathroom and made it back out to the living room, she'd be downstairs dressed, ready to go, saying, where's my coffee? And we would spend the whole day yard sailing together and rummaging together. We call it rummage. Cool stuff, cheap, cheap. I wrote down with the last line of this cool stuff, cheap, cheap. So, but we would go from not buying anything, buying a bunch of crap we didn't need, buying some crap we did need, or just looking at the stuff. But we did that a lot, and that was always a really nice day between the two of us. So that's the first memory I wrote in this book. And over here I have other memories that I wrote. This one you're going to see a video about. This one about Josh moving in and how happy the cats were. The stickers that you folks sent me are really nice because they kind of match it. One night Josh and I had dinner. He came and had dinner. And then a couple of gifts I've recently received from people, from you folks. And just my thoughts on it. And this is something I did yesterday for the first time. And in a long time, I felt a little bit panicky about it and then realized I didn't need to. I handled it okay. So, but that's what this is going to be. I have a lot of pages to fill with what hopefully will be a lot of good memories. I'm going to do my best at least. What I'm going to use this for. Oh, and it didn't have a pen loop on it. It's hard to see. So I made one out of that sparkly purple duct tape. And it's kind of ugly on here, but when the book is closed, you can't tell. It's just a pen loop on there. So, it has the elastic with it. This book is purple. It's, you can tell, it's kind of the same purple as the light part of this, but it really just doesn't look it in this. And these are really pretty rose gold, but they look orange on the camera. So, but, so that's my journals so far. Okay, so on these pretty purple and rose gold butter. Oh, that even looks pretty on the black. Doesn't that look pretty on the black? That is rose gold, but on this camera it looks orange. Jeepers. Okay. Again, thanks a lot for watching, for listening, and I hope this wasn't too boring. Take care and toodles.